Welcome to a brand new episode of The World Today. I'm Ahmed Nader, and as usual, we will be discussing the latest headlines and the articles published in several newspapers and magazines from Egypt and the world. And I'm honored to be having with me here today in the studio Ambassador Ibrahim. Ambassador Ibrahim, thank you very much for being with us today on The World Today.
Thank you, you are welcome.
Thank you, and we start straight away from Al-Ahram Online with the main headline saying the Egyptian nuclear delegation heads to Moscow. A delegation of the Egyptian nuclear power experts and the officials headed to Moscow to meet with the Russian officials for talks on the Egyptian nuclear power generation program to be implemented in partnership with Russia. In his visit to Egypt last week, the Russian President Vladimir Putin and the Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi signed an agreement for Russia to construct a nuclear power plant to generate electricity in Egypt. Putin said that if the final decisions are reached regarding the power plant, construction would start straight away. The visit will last for a week, and talks are to cover the financial and the technical aspects of the construction of the power plant in the Egyptian Dab'a, close to the Mediterranean city of Marsa Matruh, west of Alexandria. Ambassador Ibrahim, how would you see this step in solving the power outages here in Egypt and the electricity issues and problems here in the country?
You know, I think this is one of the very big move for Egypt to handle the crisis of electricity in Egypt. It is very important, and I think that this is as much as important as the deal of weapons, which was agreed before when President Sisi went to Moscow, visit Moscow, yes, something like 3 months ago. So, because the power plant, this atomic power plant is very, very important. It is more cheaper and also more effective, and it will help finishing this story of electricity and the complaint of all the Egyptians from electricity. Yes. So then I hope that this time it has to be implemented immediately, and the agreement must be signed financially and technically, and all the aspects and the fuel of the power station and everything must be finished in a very, very short time. We have no time.
In your opinion, how much time can it take to be building a nuclear power plant here in Egypt, in Al-Dab'a?
As far as I understood, something like 2 years. So, but I hope, you know, when they said about the Suez Canal project, and it was said that it will take something like 3 years, but President Sisi decided that it would take 1 year. So I hope that this plant would take very short time, because we are in very much need for it.
Do you think that the United States is comfortable with the new ties that are being formed between Egypt and Russia?
What was the spokesman of the Ministry of Affairs in the United States said that they are not worried about this kind of thing, and I think that they must not be worried, because we do not want to have we are signing the nuclear weapon treaty, so we cannot make it for weapons, you know, or for bomb. This is very, very important, you know. The only, but we also are inviting Israel to end this story of having this nuclear bomb. So we don't have, we are not in need of that. The policy of the President Sisi, new policy, is for peace and stability and cooperation between all the states in the region. So there is no worry that we are going to use this kind of plant for any other purpose except for civil and peaceful purposes. Yes.
Mr. Ibrahim, do you think that any other projects were signed or agreements were signed between President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the Russian President Vladimir Putin upon his visit to Cairo last week?
Something, maybe some some agreements have been signed between the Minister of Investment and some other authorities for the wheat and for exchange of what can I say, equal exchange of commodities. This is also was there
between Egypt and Russia.
And this will help making the things will be more easy for and more useful for Russia and for us. We must understand that it is kind of cooperation. The two parties must benefit from these treaties, and the plant will not. Russia will not make this power plant from their money. No,
yes.
It is money paid by Egypt, and they will help us how to use it, how to make it working well. But the technical
to be understanding
story,
the know-how.
the know-how.
Yes,
this is understood. But now Russia is not in a position to give arms or to give anything as assistance. No.
Just trading agreements.
Trading agreements.
Yes.
Even for the weapons.
And the strengthening of the ruble and the pound as well.
This is the Central Bank of Egypt and Central Bank of Russia will work for it, because they took it from the principle. But for the details, the specialists will sit together to arrange for such, because it is very important agreement.
Yes, turning to the daily news of Egypt and the main headline saying, Egypt ends the American arms monopoly with the French jet fighter deal. Egypt's decision to buy 24 Rafale jet fighters from France underscores the determination to diversify the sources of weapons and reduce the dependence on the United States. Experts said that the 5.2 billion euro deal is a historic first foreign sale of the Rafale for France, which is set to sign the contract in the Egyptian capital on Monday. The United States has played down the impact of the sale. Earlier, the American State Department spokeswoman Jen Psaki said that Egypt is a sovereign country and that the two countries have security relationship. The American-Egyptian relations have been strained since July of 2013. A retired Egyptian Army General Mohammed Mujahid al-Zayed said that Egypt is no longer wanting to be blackmailed by the United States in its relations, adding that the American officials have their own views as to how the Egyptian army should be rebuilt and reject the army's belief that Israel is the key enemy. Mr. Ibrahim, how do you see such a move between Egypt and France now?
We have been talking together before in this program even that the new thinking of President Sisi that to have agreements and to have relations with all the states of the world, with all countries of the world, especially the countries of the Security Council members. They are permanent. France is one of these permanent, and we have all the relations with the French relations, especially cultural relation. But now we need some kind of armaments. We need some kind of jets, and so when President Sisi were in Paris, visited and met with President Hollande, they talked about this matter, and that is why he gave special thanks to President Hollande that they agreed. And look, the Minister of Defense will be coming to Cairo to sign this. This is not easy.
Yes.
In the general cases, yes. The general cases must be Egyptian delegation should go to Paris to sign this kind of agreement. But he is coming here. That means he is giving credit to Egypt policy and to Egyptian president who are representing the Egyptians. So France knows very well how Egypt is thinking. So then also for the United States, there is no monopoly. Why they have the monopoly for weapons or armaments or jets or any kind of weapons? There must be. different resources and different clients we can depend on, because this is for the needs of the Egyptian army. And no one knew what the Egyptian army needs except the Egyptians. We need this and that, and it is not directed to any...
So in your opinion, this would not be straining the American-Egyptian relations?
No. Why? Because even we have peace treaty with Israel. Talking about Israel, we have peace treaty. We are adhering to this treaty. Now it was done now something like 40 years or something like that. Nothing was done because Egypt has its own thinking for the stability, as I said, and cooperation and stability and peaceful relation with all the countries in the region. So no worries about that, but there must be different resources for the Egyptian army to meet its needs and to be strong enough for the security and stability of Egypt itself, and also for the region.
Yes.
Because it's a matter of national security of the region.
Yes, and turning to the Global Post with another headline saying, gunmen seize the government buildings in Libyan city of Sirte. Gunmen have taken over several government buildings in the Libyan city of Sirte, including several administrative offices